All right, ladies and gentlemen, just going to have people join in. If you can hear me, if you can put a 1 in the chat for me, I'd appreciate that. All right. Just waiting for a few people to join in, and then we'll get started. Yeah, sometimes I don't know. I'm not sure why YouTube does that. It's pretty weird how it doesn't notify or send out notifications, I should say. All right, folks, we're going to get started. So thank you for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. We do have some wild weather coming in for tomorrow. Sunday would be June 23rd, 2024. All right, so without further ado, let's get started, folks. Hope you like my graphics in this one. This one is definitely going to be a pretty interesting briefing here. And let me know if the audio is coming through clearly. I do have my fan on in my office right now, so it's a little hot. But if the fan noise is coming through and it's creating problems, definitely let me know. I can definitely adjust to make sure that everything is up to par. All right, awesome. Sounds good. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a severe probability tomorrow. We have a chance for damaging winds, large hail, isolated tornadoes, and flash flooding. We are in level 2 risk. So tomorrow we're looking at damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, locally large hail, locally heavy downpours, and unfortunately we're looking at isolated tornadoes as well. I'll definitely break down the areas that I think are going to be most impacted by this weather as well. This is between tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening. It's probably going to be focused between 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. So the actions you should take next, definitely monitor the latest information. You can find information here at World Weather Authority, YouTube, Facebook. Definitely check out Jay's Weather also. I'll definitely have to... actually, let me do something real quick. I will put Jay's Weather right in the chat for you guys. So there's the links to his page, so definitely check him out. He's definitely pretty awesome. Definitely based down in West Virginia. Does a fantastic job with the weather, so definitely tune into him as well. I'm sure he's going to have some updates tomorrow. And also, guys, not only is it good to monitor the latest information, but also have a plan in place. I know a few people said that they don't have a basement, but they do have other areas that they can go to, whether that be a neighbor or just getting out of Dodge. That's definitely a good idea, but just be careful out there. It's definitely going to be pretty interesting. All right, let's move on to, let's see here, see if this pops up. There we go, we're all good. I probably should talk about some of the storms that's ongoing right now across the nation, but we're going to focus on the severe weather event tomorrow. So you can see the slight risk actually has expanded down to the south. This has included Morgantown, Fairmont, Shinston, Grafton, Clarksburg, New Martinsville. This even goes all the way over through Wheeling, Weirton, all the way down through Portsmouth and Huntington. Charleston, you guys are still in the marginal risk, but nevertheless, you're definitely going to have to keep a lookout for the potential for very strong storms coming through there as well. But let's take a look at this, guys. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. So the summary is scattered damaging winds, and a few tornadoes are likely across portions of the Northeast, mainly during Sunday afternoon and evening. Again, this is going to be about 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. So we're looking at a relatively more active severe weather day as anticipated on Sunday afternoon, with increasing confidence in scattered damaging winds and a few tornadoes across parts of the region. So I'll go through this and I'll read it for you guys. So low amplitude shortwave trough over the upper Midwest will track east to the St. Lawrence Valley by Sunday afternoon as a more amplified upstream trough digs across the Great Lakes. Multiple belts of enhanced low-level flow or wind will likely accompany each impulse, with a stronger strengthening occurring with a secondary wave. A deepening surface cyclone should track across the southeast, Ontario through southern Quebec as well. While mid-level lapse rates will be weak, rich low-level moisture will yield moderate buoyancy with a broadening plume of mixed layer CAPE of 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. All right, so CAPE, guys, CAPE is convective available potential energy. It's basically the energy in the atmosphere that storms can tap into, basically to yield supercells, tornadoes, large hail events, things like that. 1,500 to 2,000 is pretty high there. It's definitely a buoyant atmosphere there. So we're definitely looking at the most favorable parameter space appears centered on parts of the Hudson Valley through the central portion of New England, which I'll show you guys there in a little bit. So we're looking at low-level hodographs are definitely forecast to be most enlarged in combination with a favorable low-level thermodynamic environment. This may yield a few discrete supercells with a risk for tornadoes and damaging winds. Don't want to get too crazy into the specifics here. I just want to make sure that some of the scientific stuff here, scientific terminology, doesn't impede the actual discussion that we're going to have here. Let me see. Make sure my chat's working here. There we go. There we go. Let me move my chat over a little bit so I can see it a little bit better. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jay does a fantastic job for sure. Yeah, we're definitely going to take a look at some of the storms, the models that are predicted for tomorrow as well. But basically, we're definitely going to see some storms coming through. So let's go to one of my most trusted models here. This is the HRRR model, or the High Resolution Rapid Refresh model. I definitely like this. Let me turn off this layer for you so you guys can see the storms. All right, so 9 p.m. there is a possibility that storms are going to be, this is actually tonight, so this was about an hour ago. There was supposed to be some storms in the vicinity, but I do not think they materialized, which is good. But let's actually go into tomorrow. You can see that major line coming in. All right, folks, this is 5 a.m. You can see West Virginia, mostly clear here. Pennsylvania, there's a little bit of drizzle, things like that coming in. And you can see this massive line over towards Fort Wayne, Indiana, down through Indianapolis, all the way down towards Carbondale as well. That's all the way southern Illinois. But you can see how far this stretches, guys. It's definitely going to be a very interesting event. So let's go move forward a little bit. So we are going to have this cold front that comes through. This first band is actually going to be associated with sort of a density gradient out ahead of this. So we're going to see what happens here. So this is 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And it looks like it fizzles out and weakens by noon. So around lunchtime, it looks like it's just going to be a couple rain showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder in the Pittsburgh area. And then down towards Morgantown, Parkersburg, down through Huntington, it's definitely possible we can see some rumbles of thunder through there as well. Fortunately, this is not the main event, though. So the main event is actually coming later in the day. So like I said, between 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. So take a look at 4 p.m., guys. Ohio is just completely lit up, especially up towards Youngstown, Alliance, Canton. We have some storms up here, up towards Mercer County, and up through Newcastle, Butler. Definitely through Aliquippa as well. So I might activate chase mode tomorrow. We might be able to get in some of these actual storms here, so it'll be pretty fun if you guys join that live stream tomorrow. If I do it, we'll see. I know I'm going to church tomorrow, so we'll see what happens after that. But if the storms do have a chance of producing tornadoes, I definitely want to get in the middle of them there. So this is around 4 p.m. Let's extend this over into 5 p.m. This is when we're going to get some of these prefrontal confluence bands that form. So they're going to be little discrete cells that form out ahead of the main frontal zone here. So this is going to be down towards Morgantown, Clarksburg, Weston. Let me zoom in on here. I think it's pronounced Audra. If I do pronounce things improperly, I do apologize. We had New Martinsville, Marietta, even up through Pittsburgh as well. This is around 5 p.m. These storms definitely look pretty intense. Cool thing is about Radar Omega, we can actually see some of the extruded 3D imagery of this. So you can see how tall some of these thunderstorms get. Once you get into the purple there and up to the black region, that's basically 40,000 feet plus in terms of some of these storm tops here that are going to be coming through. It's definitely going to be pretty interesting. So let me zoom out a little bit so we get West Virginia and portions of southwestern Pennsylvania in this. And we will continue forward. So we go to 6 p.m. This is when they start blowing up down towards West Virginia. It's going to be near Pine Grove, Mannington. This is going to head right into Fairmont, Shinston, Clarksburg, eventually over into Morgantown, Kingwood, Terra Alta, Rouseburg as well, Grafton. We do have a little bit of storms here forming near the Vinoy's Mill area, Kalamazoo, Kurt, Pleasure Valley, Calhoun, Valley Bend as well. But my main focus is definitely going to be this storm here. This is going to be in between Smithfield and Salem. It can definitely be an interesting storm system, especially the model data is hinting at some of the rotation here. So we take a look at this. You can see sort of the comma shape of the storm there, sort of forming into a hook echo there. Obviously, this is model data. This is not actually what's happening at the moment, but it's definitely a hint at what could happen later. Hello, GRP. How are you? Good to see you here. But yeah, unfortunately, let's head into 7 p.m. We'll head an hour later. Definitely looks like those storms have come through, and it looks like Washington, Bethel Park, all the way through McKeesport, Monroeville, Trafford. You guys are going to see a lot of flooding over here towards Murraysville, all the way down through North Irwin as well. This does include Level Green here, Abbey Place, Cavetsville, Ardara here. So it's not going to be good in terms of rainfall here. We're going to see a lot of large hail as well. We could possibly see up to golf ball size hail tomorrow. We will definitely see. Yeah, they move through pretty quickly, but unfortunately, between 6 and 9 p.m., there's going to be multiple storms that come through. So it definitely looks like 6 p.m., or I should say 5 p.m. will be the main start of it tomorrow. And then 6 p.m., we'll have that storm come through. This is going to be more concerning up to the north. I'll definitely take a look at some of the photographs as well. That'll show the rotation, and it'll give me an idea of the potential for tornadoes as well. And then as we move into 7 p.m., looks like that storm moves off to the south, southeast down towards Weston. It kind of breaks up into two different storm systems here, one towards Morgantown and one towards Weston. We're going to have to watch the Morgantown storm for flooding. We're going to have to watch the Weston storm to the south of Clarksburg heading across I-79 here. We're going to have to watch that one for tornadoes. And then we have another storm developing behind that. This is near Sistersville, Grandview, Middleburn. It's going to track right across the same areas here. So it's going to head right down towards, looks like Middleburn, Tyler, Akron, Ashley, and then come across Lumberport, and then Clarksburg, Bridgeport, across the I-79 corridor there. And as we head into 8 p.m., we can see that storm actually breaks up into two different storms, almost three. So unfortunately, we're going to have to watch Morgantown once again. This top storm is a little concerning. This one's going to be more of a hail producer. So we're going to have to watch out for hail in the Morgantown area, even through the Fairview area. And then down through Mannington here, we're going to have a lot of rainfall. And then this one on the bottom edge of this near Salem, this one's going to be very concerning for tornadoes. Even on the portion here near Jimtown, Shinston, Lumberport, we're going to have to watch these two cells here as they develop tomorrow. This is right around 8 p.m. Again, this is a model run. This is not set in stone, folks. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on it. Which we will. We'll definitely keep an eye on it here at the World Weather Authority studio. Let me back up for my family and friends up here in the Pittsburgh area. This cell is going to be a massive hail producer if this materializes at 7 p.m. tomorrow. This is between Claysville, Good Intent, near East Findlay, and Pleasant Grove. It's going to move off down to the southeast near Prosperity, Mount Herman, and Amity. So we'll see what happens to that. Yeah, it looks like it kind of splits before it reaches Fairmont. Unfortunately, when cells split like that, the left mover, so the one that will move up to the north a little bit, that one's going to be a hail producer, and the one that moves to the south is going to be a sort of a tornado producer, so we're going to have to watch that carefully. This, like I said, this is just one model run. We can take a look at other models as well. This is just composite reflectivity. Let's take a look at the significant tornado parameter here. Let's see if we have any values that jump out. It looks like more of the higher values for tornadoes are going to be in Ohio, near Coshocton, New Philadelphia, up through Oryxville. And we will move this forward a little bit. Yeah, so the chance of tornadoes is relatively low tomorrow, so that's good. But it's definitely not out of the question. It's good to see that we have a significant tornado parameter below 1, so that's good. It's 0.8, so it's fairly low, but we're going to have to watch that carefully as well as we keep moving on. Storm relative helicity is going to be another story. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull something up for you guys. Alright, I got my little binder here. Let me pull this up. I got all my notes next to me. Alright, so if you're wondering what storm relative helicity is, so this is what what is showing on the map here. Let me just see if there's any values that stick out. Yeah, I mean, down towards Fairmont, Morgantown. Let me zoom in a little bit. Looks like 159 to 186. So that's definitely good value. So storm relative velocity, or SRH, is a measure used in meteorology to assess the potential for rotating updrafts in thunderstorms, which can lead to the development of severe weather phenomena such as tornadoes. So unfortunately, it does look like, even though the significant tornado parameter is pretty low, we are going to have a chance for brief spin-ups just due to the storm relative velocity values that I'm seeing down here towards Fairmont, Grafton, a little bit south of Morgantown as well, right along I-68 and the I-79 corridor there. So the SRH value, it quantifies the amount of horizontal vorticity or spin in the atmosphere that a storm can ingest into its updraft, which is crucial for storm rotation. So basically what that means is, so storm relative, that basically means it's the measurement taken relative to the motion of the storm itself rather than a fixed point on the ground. And helicity is a property of a fluid, in this case the air. And it's surprising, I know air is a fluid, but yeah, that's how we quantify it. So basically it represents the tendency of air to spin or rotate, and in meteorology it's specifically the rotation within a storm's updraft. So as we get some of these rotating updrafts that come through, those are known as mesocyclones. So we're going to have to see what happens here tomorrow. The model can only tell us so much, but we're going to have to see what happens as time goes on tonight as well. Let's take a look at some of these surface-based CAPE values as well. So CAPE stands for convective available potential energy. So basically it is the amount of energy that a storm has at its disposal basically to produce various phenomena, large hail, flash flooding, a lot of rain, things like that, tornadoes. So let's take a look at, I'm just curious to see, 1,600 joules per kilogram around 10 p.m. tomorrow. That's rather concerning. That's definitely a very buoyant atmosphere. We're going to have a lot of air parcels ascending very rapidly. It's definitely going to create a lot of updrafts. So there could actually be a little bit more storms developing due to that. But like I said, only time's going to tell as we move forward. Let me go back to the reflectivity here. So yeah, this storm to the south of Grafton just at 10 p.m., that one's going to be a little bit concerning here. It's 59 dBz on the model data. Yeah, not good. That storm could be a prolific hail producer and possibly even an intense tornado producer there. So that one actually looks like it comes from sort of the West Union area, Pennsboro, and then eventually sags to the south of Clarksburg. So this is actually just going to be just to the south of Grafton tomorrow night. But we'll have to keep an eye out on that. But it's this storm right here that's very, very concerning around 6 p.m. So definitely if you live in this area, from the Mason-Dixon line all the way down to Salem and all the way across through Morgantown, Fairmont, Shinston, Clarksburg, Grafton, we're going to have to watch this area tomorrow around 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for the potential for tornadoes, brief spin-ups. So these tornadoes, they could be EF1, EF2, probably EF0 most likely. But I like to include the EF1s and EF2s just to give you guys an idea of what's going to happen out there. I don't see any EF3s, EF4s, EF5s developing from this. It's going to be a very localized event. So these aren't going to be major, massive tornadoes. These are going to be pretty small. And I know it's going to sound weird, but small in terms of tornado, a football field wide or so. Most likely in that range, maybe even smaller than that, if they do develop. So we're going to have to watch this carefully as we move forward. And we're also going to have to watch this line on the back side of this as well, that actually moves up to the north. So there's going to be a lot of hail up towards the Pittsburgh area. This is around 7 p.m. It's stretching from Monroeville all the way down towards Claysville as well. Claysville, we're going to have to watch out. And this is eventually going to go across through Prosperity, Mount Hermon, Amity, 10 Mile, Mariana, and just south of California University, where I attended my meteorology classes there. Yeah, I would have a plan in place, just so that way, just in case of anything, if any severe weather does, come through your area. Like I said, this is not set in stone yet, but given the dynamics and the kinematics of the atmosphere, it definitely looks like it's going to be a severe weather day. But yeah, I definitely will. Yeah, I definitely will pray for you while I'm in church, for sure. I'll be there probably I'll get there around about 10 o'clock or so. think church lasts till 11:15 or so. But yeah, I definitely will. I'll definitely include you in the prayer there. But yeah, that's basically what I have in terms of storm development there. But let's actually take a look at some of the data here, just to delve a little bit deeper into the models. All right, so let's pull up. This is a site called Pivotal Weather. The last program that you saw there, that's called Radar Omega. It is a monthly paid subscription. I think it's about $11 a month for the top tier, but it gives you a lot of information. Pivotal Weather, most of it is a free website. Pivotal Weather, it's very, very good. I can put this. Let me see here. I can probably put this in the description. That way you guys have it. So if you just do a quick Google search, it'll come up Pivotal Weather there. And I will put this down in the chat for you guys there. There should be a link there, but let me actually put the website in there for you. Sometimes it's a little finicky. There we go. All right, so that's Pivotal Weather. It's a relatively good website. It's actually $9.99 a month. I think it comes out to like $10 and some change, I think. But it's very good. It gives you a lot of data here. So let's actually take a look at the Pittsburgh area real quick. This is 7 p.m. tomorrow night. All right, let me see here. All right, so this diagram over here, guys, this is called the skew T log P diagram. Basically, we send a weather balloon up. It transmits the data back to whatever weather station that we're at, and then we can decipher that. We can plot that on a graph, just like you see here. So on the left-hand side, this is called the skew T log P. On the right-hand side, this right here in the circular, sort of like, it looks like you're playing darts a little bit. So this is called the hodograph. So I'll definitely go into what these are, if you guys would like. So the skew T log P diagram, it's a thermodynamic chart used primarily in meteorology to display the vertical profile of temperature, dew point, and wind in the atmosphere. It helps to analyze the stability of the atmosphere, determine cloud formation, and predict weather phenomenon like thunderstorms, things like that. So we have pressure levels here. So this goes from the surface, which is 1,000 millibars. It's actually more like 1,013.25 millibars is the surface. And this is plotted upward. So this goes 1,000 millibars, 850 millibars, 700 millibars. You can see the heights as well. So 0 kilometers above the surface, 1 kilometer above the surface, 3 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 9 kilometers, things like that, right? So these are plotted logarithmically and decrease with height, so typically ranging from 1,000 millibars at the surface to about 100 millibars in the upper atmosphere. So you can see 100 millibars way at the top here. Then we have the temperature axis down here. So this temperature lines, or if you want to get real technical, they're called isotherms. These are skewed to the right. So you can see these dashed lines right here going up from the bottom left here up towards the top right of the diagram. These dashed white lines there, that's actually the temperature. So that's why we call it skew T, and then log P stands for the logarithm of pressure. So these lines help determining the actual temperature at different pressure levels. So it's pretty hard to determine on a graph. If we were just to plot it normally with the XY axis, straight, we have to actually skew the temperature there to actually get relevant information as well. And of course we have in the red here, this is the temperature of the atmosphere, temperature of the air parcel, which in our case, the air parcel is the weather balloon going up through the atmosphere. So this is the temperature at that particular level. So let's say 700 millibars. So if we go right here, temperature is about 9 or 10, almost 10 degrees Celsius there. And then the green line here is the dew point. So you can see at the surface, 77 degrees tomorrow night with a dew point of 69. So it's going to be a very juicy atmosphere. So definitely to the dew points, higher dew points, especially in the high 60s and lower 70s like that, provide the fuel necessary for thunderstorm development. So we're going to have to watch that for sure. And So right here, this 188 meters squared per second squared, this is the storm relative helicity that we talked about earlier. So 188, it's decent. For tornadoes, we definitely want to see a higher value, but 188 is pretty good. All right, moving down here, I'm just going to show you guys a little bit here. So surface, this is 1447. That is the CAPE value. So that's convective available potential energy. And then this SIN H value is the convective inhibition. So this actually is the value that prohibits thunderstorm development. You can see it's actually at 0 at the surface. So that's definitely not a good sign. It looks like these storms can definitely take off. So there's no capping inversion here. So there's nothing impeding these storms from growing into a height necessary to produce large hail, lightning, flash flooding events, and tornadoes as well. This LCL stands for the lifting condensation level. So that's the height where the temperature and the dew point lines converge. And above that level is where clouds form. So you can see the dew point and the temperature converge right between, I'd say, about a half a kilometer above the surface there. It's not too bad. It definitely gives these clouds the ability to grow down near to the surface. And unfortunately, that makes it easier for tornadoes to develop. So we're going to have to watch that very carefully. And then over here, this LFC value, that stands for the level of free convection. This is the height where a rising air parcel becomes warmer than its surroundings and continues to rise freely. So once any air parcel ingested into a storm's updraft or any lifting mechanism such as a front, things like that, once the air gets lifted to that level, it's game on for thunderstorms. So sometimes you see those little popcorn clouds outside, the cumulus clouds. They can easily develop into towering cumulonimbus clouds, and I'm sure you guys have seen those before. Thunderstorms, thunderstorm clouds, thunderheads, things like that. So it's definitely pretty interesting. Now, I'm not going to go too in-depth with this. I don't want to bore you guys. This PW value is called the precipitable water value, so 1.28 inches. So that is actually... sorry, just reading a message there. So the PWatt value, so PW, precipitable water, it's about 1.8. It's a measure to quantify the total amount of water vapor present in the vertical column of the atmosphere from the surface to the top of the atmosphere. So it's a pretty high precipitable water value. So that indicates a greater potential for heavy rainfall and thunderstorms. And lower values, like if it was under an inch or so, that would be a value associated with drier conditions, less rain, things like that. But it definitely looks like we're going to get a good bit of rain here in the Pittsburgh area tomorrow. Just because this value says 1.28 inches, that does not mean that we're going to receive 1.28 inches on the ground. We'll probably receive maybe half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain tomorrow, maybe less than that, depending on how these storms do develop. One other value I want to focus on is called DCAPE. So that stands for downdraft CAPE, or downdraft convective available potential energy. So that's actually a parameter used to assess the potential strength of downdrafts and thunderstorms. So this is what creates microbursts, damaging winds out ahead of a storm that you can feel once that shelf cloud comes in. I'm sure you guys have seen those shelf clouds. They're pretty spooky looking. But yeah, it's 1,072 joules per kilogram for DCAPE is very high, so we're going to have to be on the lookout for damaging wind gusts tomorrow. Like I said earlier, 60 mile per hour, even 70 mile per hour winds are not out of the question tomorrow. All right, so let's move into the right side of this real quick. Don't want to bore you guys too much. So this is called the hodograph. So this is a graphical tool used in meteorology to represent the changes in wind speed and direction with height. So that definitely provides a valuable insight into the vertical wind shear and the structure of the atmosphere, which are definitely critical for predicting the development and behavior of severe weather such as thunderstorms and tornadoes. So let's most notably, you can see it might be a little bit small on the screen. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys and bring this here. There we go. That might be a little bit better. All right, so you can see this 0 to 1. So that means from the surface to 1 kilometer in the atmosphere, this is the direction that the winds are changing. This is the speed of it as well. So it looks like we're going to have almost 40 knots of wind shear in the lower levels there, plus a little bit of curvature. So tornadoes are definitely not out of the question, and that's why the possible hazard type is a marginal tornado. So we're going to have to watch that very carefully as we move into tomorrow. Definitely looking like a very favorable hodograph for at least brief tornadoes here. So critical angle here is 73 degrees. You want to see between, usually between 50 and 90. The closer you are to 90 degrees, the easier it is for storms to ingest something that's called streamwise vorticity. So this is sort of a crosswise vorticity case, but let me give you a definition of that as well. Yeah, so streamwise vorticity. It's definitely a very, very key concept in hodographs. It refers to the component of vorticity, which is rotation or spin in the atmosphere that is aligned with the wind direction in a storm. So just say parallel. This is actually for Pittsburgh. This is the Pittsburgh area. This is the skew T for Pittsburgh. So right here on the left-hand side, let me drag it over here. So this is the skew T diagram here. This is the hodograph. Oh, you're welcome. No problem. This is for 7 p.m. I will definitely look at some more hodographs as well, just to show you guys like the West Virginia environment. So we'll take a look at that as well. So this is sort of parallel to the wind, the actual storm motion, things like that. So it's easier to create. It's easier to spin the horizontal vorticity into vertical vorticity, which creates tornadoes. As long as this is closer to 90 than 50. It's about 73, so it's right in the middle there. Actually, this is pivotalweather.com. It's like I said, it's like $9.99. There are free websites that you can find, like free skew tees on. But nothing to the extent that Pivotal Weather gives you, So Pivotal Weather, it's about $9.99 a month. I can't remember if there's tax included in that or not, but it's relatively cheap. Sometimes, I mean, there have been times where I had to get rid of it because of other things going on. But yeah, pivotalweather.com or home.pivotalweather. I can post a link in here again for you. All right, and there's the link for you. Hopefully it shows up. Let me post it in the actual chat here. There we go. All right, so I guess I posted twice. Sorry about that. But that's, yeah, the Pivotal Weather is a very good website. Like I said, it's about $9.99 a month, but it's well worth it, especially if you're looking to obtain more information. And of course, you can do quick Google searches. I have a whole binder full. I have a book here just on skew T diagrams that I used in college for when I took advanced cloud physics. But it's definitely a very, very good tool to have, especially in your arsenal if you are tracking severe weather or wanting to know more about what's going on out there. Also, I want to show you guys the Storm Slinky here as well, just to show you. Oh yeah, same here. Yeah, I did too. That's where I graduated from. Actually, I graduated from Cal U. I got a degree in meteorology, mathematics, and physics, and I think I have like a multidisciplinary degree too. I'm not sure if that wraps up everything into one degree, but yeah, it was definitely. I had Dr. Gill, Dr. Meissen, Dr. Kaufman down there. I had Dr. Dieterle for physics. Dr. Dieterle was awesome. He definitely helped me a lot down there. So there's the Storm Slinky right here, just to show you guys. So it's a conceptual tool used by meteorologists to visualize and understand the three-dimensional structure of storm relative helicity and the vertical wind shear in the atmosphere. So it provides a way to integrate the information from hodographs and storm relative helicity into more of a intuitive and dynamic form. So it's definitely pretty good. I took 136 classes at Cal. I think I have between 400 and 500 credits from Cal U. So it's definitely pretty crazy. The most interesting class that I took down there was probably quantum physics. I have to say that was definitely one of my favorites. Surprisingly, it's not a meteorology class, but quantum physics is fantastic. All right, so the helicity and shear within the storm slinky here. Storm slinky concept helps illustrate how the change in wind speed and direction with height contribute to the development of rotation updrafts in thunderstorms. It combines vertical wind shear and the concept of helicity in sort of a 3D visualization there. Storm slinky is typically visualized as a three-dimensional spiral or helix. It represents the motion of hypothetical air parcel as it ascends through the atmosphere. So it's definitely interesting. So the tighter these are closer together here, as you can see, it indicates the strength and direction of the wind shear and helicity. So a tightly wound slinky indicates strong shear and significant helicity, which are conducive to form rotation within thunderstorms. We're going to see a lot of mesos out there, mesocyclones, deep rotating updrafts. Unfortunately, so let me bring this back to normal size here, so that way we can, let me see here, there we go. Yeah, that should be good. All right, let's take a look at down towards Morgantown for around the same time. This is around 7 p.m., so let's zoom in on this a little bit. There we go. All right, so 74 degrees, 68 dew point. Very good for fueling thunderstorms down there. And unfortunately, we have a 352 meter squared per second squared SRH value. So that's very high. Unfortunately, that is very, very good for brief spin-ups, things like that. This could actually be conducive to like an EF1, EF2 tornado as well. So we might be able to see those form tomorrow down towards Morgantown, West Virginia. I know that's not what you guys want to hear, unfortunately, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll definitely keep an eye on it for you. We'll definitely keep you safe tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Cape value, pretty low, 528 joules per kilogram. It's forecast to go up over 1,100, almost 1,200 joules per kilogram, so we're going to have to watch that carefully. Precipitable water, unfortunately, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Let me move this around. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right about that. The early batch of storms are definitely going to be Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry, I was just told the audio went out on here. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully I wasn't talking to myself there. I guess I was. But yeah, wow. So I wonder where I left off? Then the audio came out. Sorry about that, guys. Just the Shure microphones are a little touchy. It seems like every time I move it around, it seems to go out a little bit. But yeah, so it looks like I graduated from Cal U as well, just to answer the questions again. So I got this early bachelor storm. Oh, it went silent right after that. Okay, good. I don't have to go back I don't have to go back super far. All right, yeah, very weird. Sorry about that. Awesome. Yeah, so it definitely looks like that early batch of storms that comes through definitely fizzles out before it actually gets down into the central West Virginia area. North and central West Virginia, and then after that, unfortunately, we're going to see some reinvigorated storms, a couple of discrete supercells, definitely some clustering of storms as well into a line after that. So we're going to have the prefrontal confluence bands that come through that can help stir up some of the discrete supercells, and then unfortunately we have a line behind that that's going to come through, possibly some splitting storms as well. So we're going to have that left and right movers. So we're going to have to watch out for, in the left mover, large hail damaging winds. And then in the right movers, we're going to have to watch out for the tornadoes to develop as well. So 1.71 inches for the precipitable water value. Like I said, that is not indicative of getting 1.71 in precipitation. That's just the amount of water vapor in the column of air above you. So 1.71 inches, that's very, very juicy. Unfortunately, definitely looks like it's going to be a rain event for sure. Definitely potential flooding. It's not out of the question that we can see 2 inches of rainfall in some of the areas, especially down into West Virginia and portions of lower Pennsylvania as well. Juicy, yeah, I know. I use a lot of weird words, like the word moist, juicy, things like that. So, but, unfortunately in meteorology, you got to use weird words. So I remember when I did my first presentation and used the word moist, and half the class erupted in laughter. That was good. So, but all right, D-Cape values down for Morgantown, 1,089 joules per kilogram. Very indicative for the potential for microburst. Strong damaging winds as well. Definitely in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, we got that drying out. You can see the dew point value, the elevated mix layer there definitely creates that potential for the dry slots to form in the mid-levels, and unfortunately that's going to lead to a lot of damaging wind events. Let's take a look at the hodograph. So 0 to 1 kilometer, we're going to have about 35 knots. A wind shear there. It's definitely curved. It's basically about the same as what we looked in Pennsylvania there. Marginal tornado for sure, especially with that low-level curvature. Definitely not good. We have a good ventilation rate as well in the upper levels. So we will see what happens there. Storm Slinky, pretty tightly, closely packed, but it's going to be more of a linear structure of storms, definitely with the values that I'm seeing here. So unfortunately with the linear structure, that is called a QLCS, or a quasi-linear convective system, or a squall line. Those tornadoes that form in a QLCS can definitely be pretty devastating. Usually they're brief. They form in the bookend vortices between two competing cells within the lines. We're going to have to watch that as we go forward. And don't worry about this, guys. This SARS 100% chance of a tornado, 6 loose matches. SARS is good in a way, but I typically don't use the SARS value. Yeah, so it's basically used to analyze and reanalyze atmospheric data to better understand and predict weather patterns. I don't know, the data assimilation within SARS, especially saying 100% chance of tornado, that is obviously false. It's definitely not going to be a 100% chance of tornado, I can tell you that. The tornado chances are actually relatively low, but given the hodographs, especially the 68 degree dew point, the critical angle of 73, it's getting there. It's getting up to 90. We'd like to see more closer to 90 to ingest streamwise vorticity rather than crosswise vorticity. But yeah, not too bad. Let me go back to Radar Omega just to give you guys a little bit more of an idea, just a recap. All right. There we go. All right, so we can see that linear structure of showers and thunderstorms coming across Ohio at 8 a.m. Again, this is one model run. This is the HRRR at 0Z. This is not a forecast, folks. This is just I'm just going over some of the data here that are coming in. So this is the most recent model run of the HRRR. You can see this massive line of thunderstorms and showers affecting from Cleveland all the way down past Cincinnati, even down into Louisville, Kentucky here. Even the portions of Indiana are going to get hit by some of this. We are going to have to watch out near Charleston down here at around 8 a.m. Definitely a few rumbles of thunder, not out of the question. So let's move this forward. As you can see, by 12, basically this entire line fizzles out. So hopefully this model run... hopefully the confidence in this model run is very good. Unfortunately, when it started out around 9 p.m., I didn't see any discrete supercells forming, so confidence is a little shaken, but we'll take what we can get here. So, unfortunately, we look at the 3 p.m. hour here up towards Oil City in Pennsylvania, down towards Grove City along the I-79 corridor heading north there. And especially up here towards Cleveland, Let's see here. Bedford, Aurora, Mesopotamia Township, things like that. We're going to have to watch out for the potential for very, very strong damaging winds, a lot of hail, lightning, potential flooding here as well. And then we have some of these other storms, these discrete supercells are going to develop, especially we have to take a look at this Vandergrift one. Unfortunately, Lower Burrell, this area tends to flood here in Pennsylvania pretty frequently, so we're going to have to watch out. Watch out for some flooding here. Down through Alliance, Salem, eventually over through Elwood City, Beaver Falls, Ely Nople, around 3 to 4 p.m. tomorrow. Mansfield, Ohio as well. We have to keep a lookout on that. Down through Clarksburg, even down through West Union, Pine Grove, Mannington. Not yet into the Morgantown area, not into the Fairmont area just yet. As we move forward, though, 4 p.m. and 5 p.m., this is where these cells up towards the Pittsburgh area. So we're talking about Moon Township, Frankfort Springs, where Mineral Springs is, Robinson. So this is right in the area of the World Weather Authority studio. So I'll definitely be on top of this. I had actually charged the drone earlier today. Got the slow motion camera ready to go for some lightning shots as well. Got the tripod all ready to go. But yeah, the drone, the controller for the drone is almost fully charged. All 3 batteries are charged for the drone. It's actually a DJI Mini 2. So it's an older drone, but it still shoots in 4K. It's incredible what it can do. But yeah, so we have we're going to be on the lookout for those storms tomorrow, especially in around this area. I do have permission from the bases, the military base around here, to fly in my area. So that's good. I do have the drone license ready to go just in case if someone comes up and says, hey, where's your license? You know, things like that. So that's ready to go. Yeah, unfortunately, even up towards Unity, East Palestine, New Beaver, Big Beaver, Beaver Falls, down through Frankfort Springs, Robinson, Moon Township. This is heading into the Pittsburgh area to the north as well, near Bakerstown, Gibsonia, Clinton. We're going to have to watch out. Even towards Donegal as well, and near Acme, right along the 70 and I-70 and 76 interchange there. We're going to have to watch out for the development of possible supercells there. Unfortunately, a lot of the activity as well is going to be up into near the Vermont, New Hampshire area. This is where we're going to see tornado warnings definitely start popping up tomorrow evening as well. So this is Franklin, Meredith, Springfield, even down into Massachusetts. We're going to have to watch out for the development, even Connecticut as well. We're going to have to watch out for the development of tornadoes, which unfortunately this area really isn't well acquainted with tornadoes. So we'll see. Yeah, I think it has to just do. So this is like early morning convection, and then as it comes through, it just fizzles out. Although it does look like the 9 a.m. really isn't a good time for storm development, but the model's definitely, you're right, the model does kill that line relatively quickly. I don't think that the overall density gradient around the area is going to be well in place yet. We're not going to have the daytime heating just yet. We are going to have the dew points a little bit higher. We can actually look at that too. Let's see here. So just to go back a little bit. Yeah, dew points are going to be about 64 degrees or so tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. Where the surface temperature is going to be already into the 80s, so the mid to upper 80s as well. Let me take a look at the 700 millibar temperature. That's pretty good though. 444 for 700 millibar temperature is actually pretty good for the storm development here. It looks like the EHI, 0 to 1 kilometer EHI is going to be very, very weak. Let's take a look at the 850 millibar winds. Yeah, we're not going to have much shear in the atmosphere, wind shear, that early in the morning. But yeah, it definitely does fizzle out. Let me see here. See if I can pull this up real quick. me see. I'm just curious. I want to move into 12. We'll go to 11 a.m. tomorrow. Let me see what the mixed layer sin is here. So convective inhibition, it's not really that high. So we're looking at -3 joules per kilogram. It's just a very, very, very weak cap in place there. Whoops, sorry, I meant to go to the surface-based CAPE values. So 360 joules per kilogram, so definitely not extravagant. We might actually have a little bit of a stable layer as well out ahead of these storms that develop between 9 and 11 a.m. in the area. That could be due to radiational cooling the night before, maybe. If there's no clouds, we'll have to see what goes on tonight. See if there's going to be a clearing. If there is a clearing tonight, we're going to get a little bit of cooling, not much, but we might get enough to where a small stable layer can form, and that could suppress the rising motion of the air parcels. So that can definitely prevent the development of strong updrafts, which is definitely relevant within the 0 to 1 kilometer EHI. So the energy helicity index, relatively nothing at that point. And then the 0 to 1 kilometer storm relative helicity, and it's only at 57, so that's not too bad. I wonder, it might be due to that dry air intrusion at the the mid levels as well, as shown by the photographs, and not the photographs, the SKU-T. So that might lead to the evaporation of cloud droplets, precipitation, things like that. That can cool and stabilize the air, just enough to not produce, thunderstorms, buoyancy, things like that. So it'll reduce the buoyancy. It'll definitely lead to the dissipation of the storms coming through. And maybe that first line, just kind of reflecting back on into my synoptic meteorology days back in my sophomore year of college. Maybe that first line, it might be outflow dominant. So there might be some cold poles that form out ahead of it. Maybe some outflow boundaries as well. So we're gonna have to watch out for that, because those outflow boundaries, if they come through, some of them can actually hinder the process of storm formation. I know some do create storms, especially when they create constructive interference, things like that. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out on that. It does seem like maybe some cold poles or outflow boundaries might be the cause of that too. So it can stabilize the surrounding air and maybe cut off the supply of warm, moist air. But it does look like dew points will be there about mid-60s. So we'll definitely see what goes on. It's either due to the dry air that we saw on the sounding, the atmospheric sounding, with the dew point depressions, things like that, or it could be due to like outflow dominant storms. But unfortunately, it's pretty. I mean, there is a big break in activity from 12 p.m. to about 4. So the sun will definitely, if cloud cover does form for some reason underneath that stable boundary, which is possible, we could get those low-level clouds between low levels and mid levels that form. But if the sun can break through some of that, we're definitely going to get. Unfortunately, we get a lot of enhanced thunderstorm activity coming through the area. So we'll definitely keep an eye out on that. Hopefully that helps to explain it. I guess I would probably say more outflow dominance maybe. There's probably going to be that first line might just have a lot of winds to it. It could be that the dynamics just at that time just aren't going to be sufficient enough for those storms to, anchor and maintain across as they come across there. But it definitely looks like we're going to get that activity between 4 and 11 p.m. tomorrow. So we're going to have to watch that very carefully. Let me see. I'm curious to see what's going on around the area. Let me turn the weather alerts back on. There we go. Yeah, we do have the new severe thunderstorm watch coming across portions of Iowa, northern Missouri, heading down into Wisconsin as well. No tornado warnings at the moment, so that's good. We have 8 severe thunderstorm warnings, 16 flash flood warnings. So let's see the Pittsburgh area. You can see nothing on radar. Let me go down towards Charleston here. It's a little blip. Let me see here. There's a little storm coming across down through I-77. Very, very discreet. It's going towards Young, Kenna, Plum Orchard, Belgrove. This is probably, it's not moving very fast. Yeah, so Kenna, 4 minutes, Plum Orchard, 9 minutes, Belgrove, 13 minutes, and Red Knob at about 19 minutes. So if this storm can actually hold together, we'll see what happens here. But it doesn't look like it's a lone supercell, or sorry, not lone supercell, but it's a lone thunderstorm out there, pulse thunderstorm, if you will. But we can definitely take a look at some of these storms coming into the Chicago area as well. So this is probably going to be what the main line is tomorrow. Sorry, the first line that comes in, most likely. Let's see here. Yeah, it's got severe thunderstorm warnings on it. But I'm surprised that this line is actually relatively weak, considering the environment out here, especially with the severe thunderstorm watch. They're talking about 70-mile-per-hour winds, hail events to 1.5 inches in diameter, tornado or 2. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna be pretty interesting as this comes through. If you guys go to, I think there's a website you can go to. You can look up live cameras from Chicago. I know the last time I did a live camera, apparently someone reported it and said that I was stealing somebody else's content, but I didn't understand how showing a public website in the Chicago area, the live camera that's actually set up there. I didn't quite understand how that was stealing someone else's content, but, whatever. I don't think that was the case. Like, stealing someone's content would be like going on to, like, Reed Timmer's page and posting word for word what he's saying, and every video, taking his information. But, I don't see how going to a public website and showing the live camera off from the news station there. Not news station, whatever camera that is on earthcam.com. I'm not sure how that's stealing content, but all right. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning coming in. So this is towards Ogle County and north central Illinois and southern Winnebago County and north central Illinois. This is until 10:15 p.m. central time there. So it's actually 9:58 there. So at 9:42, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Winnebago to near Byron to near Mount Morris, moving east at 50 mile per hour. 60 mile per hour wind gust is the hazard. Definitely a lot of cloud to ground lightning, as you can see in some of these storms as well. Let me move this box out of the way. There we go. Got a good bit of lightning coming in. So this is going to be near Rockford, Byron, Oregon, Mount Morris, Rockford Airport, and Stillman Valley around 9:45. So that actually happened already. Davis Junction around 9:50, and then Cherry Valley around 9:55. So this is going to go towards New Milford, Leaf River, Monroe Center, Seaward, Lindenwood, Adeline, Kings, and Chena. This is between I-39, between mile markers of 104 and 122. So prepare immediately for damaging winds and deadly cloud-to-ground lightning. Seek shelter inside a well-built structure and stay away from windows. So yeah, that just brings up another point tomorrow, guys. So if you guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, if that does happen tomorrow, make sure you get to the basement of whatever building you're in. If you do not have a basement, definitely try to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you have a neighbor that you can go to, if you're in a mobile home or you're in a car, you definitely want to get out of those structures. You're gonna have to seek sturdier structure. Whatever, if you could find a nearby building, even if you have to find a ditch, if you lie down in a ditch and cover your head there, it seems to do the trick. It's pretty crazy how that happens, but the physics of it definitely seems to do the trick. Of course, if it's a strong tornado, it's not really going to do much. But if it's a weaker tornado, it'll definitely help you out if you lie in a ditch if you're driving in a car. But do you think there's going to be any tornadoes in northwestern PA tomorrow? Yeah, let's take a look at that. Specifically, northwestern PA, would you be talking about towards like maybe Meadville or Erie, somewhere in there? Okay, sounds good. Take a look at Venango. Alright, let me see. Let me get all this other stuff pulled up for you. Alright. Let's see here. Oh, looks like a new model run is out. A couple new model runs, actually. That's pretty good. We'll have to take a look at the latest model run that comes through. Alright, so around 5 p.m. we're going to have those storms develop. It's going to be near Titusville, down through Oil City, near Sugar Creek and Franklin as well, even up towards Cranberry, to the north of Cranberry there. Let me pull up Pivotal Weather, so that way we get some photographs here. Alright, pull this up for you guys. There we go. Alright, let's go up into Venango here. Alright, so this is around 3 p.m. tomorrow. There's a couple cells that do develop, but we're going to have to look at a previous model, unfortunately. Maybe this model, maybe the next model run will come out and we'll be able to decipher that. So marginal severe around this time, 152 SRH value, 81 degree surface temperature, 65 degree dew point. Dew points are a little bit lower up to the north. So 819 for the Cape value. Let's see, 0 to 1 kilometer, then 1 to 2 kilometer looks like where that curvature is. At this point, just analyzing the SKU-T and the hodograph, it doesn't look like there's going to be tornadoes up there around 3 p.m. tomorrow. We'll have to go back to a previous run to see what goes on there. But with the new model run here, it definitely does not look like there's going to be tornadoes in that area. Definitely a lot of damaging winds. So 60, 65 mile per hour winds up there. Marginal severe, so we're going to be looking at probably nickel-sized hail or so, maybe up to quarter-sized hail up there. Let's go to the previous model run so we can get a better look. Let's go to 5 p.m. Go right around the same area. Marginal tornado. So this is a previous model run. 0 to 1 kilometer. Not much curvature though. 0 to 1 kilometer. If you just base it off of the Cape value of 2,265, yeah, definitely. It's possible that you could see a brief spin up or two up there. But with a 109 meter square per second squared SRH value and not very much curvature here in the hodograph between 0 and 1 kilometer, we are going to have that 35 knots, but we're not going to have a lot of curvature there. So if there are any tornadoes, they're going to be very brief. But right now, as it looks like, I don't see the potential for tornado development up towards that area, at least for now. I'll definitely keep you updated. It looks like around 4 p.m. Unfortunately, there's no storms around 4 p.m. That might be when the daytime heating definitely kicks in there. There's a little bit more curvature in the hodograph there. It does say possible hazard type will be tornado, but that critical angle is very low. Unfortunately, it's 56 degrees. We'd like to see that more towards 90. Even up into the 70s or 80s for the chance for tornadoes. But you know, I wouldn't say that a tornado is out of the question. But as it stands right now, I do not believe that there's going to be a tornado up towards that area. Just given the actual data that we saw there. Yeah, a lot of open land up that way. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I hope that there's no tornadoes for you up there, unless, of course, you like to see tornadoes. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be some hail up there. Definitely some heavy rain, damaging winds. So it looks like damaging winds and hail are going to be the main threats. Can't rule out a tornado, but like I said, if one does form, it's going to be very brief. Doesn't look like there's going to be any strong tornadoes. Nothing above EF2. Nothing. I wouldn't even say an EF2 or an EF1. Probably EF0 if anything does develop. And I could probably say it'll be on the ground if anything does form. It'll be on the ground above, maybe less than a minute if it does form. Yeah, down towards Cranberry. Yeah, I can look at this QT diagram for that area. Let's see. Maybe down towards this area here. Let's move this over a little bit. Yeah, 233 for the SRH value. 55 critical angle. Slight curvature in the photograph there between 0 and 1 kilometer. Now I'm still sticking with my first forecast diagnosis there. I definitely think it's going to be more of a damaging wind and hail threat for you up there. But nevertheless, stay safe. Definitely be prepared. Thank you for the question, though. I definitely appreciate it. All right, let me put Radar Omega back on here for you guys. I'm actually more concerned down here towards Frankfurt Springs, near Mineral Springs, Robinson, Clinton, Moon Township. That's right around 5 p.m. tomorrow. If these storms can get their act together, we can get those bow echoes that form. So that's definitely not good. This is actually right near my area. It's good for me, but it's not good for the people that are around here. Yeah, I can understand that. I can get a little sketchy there with the valley up there. Yeah, me, I get, I'm like a school kid. I get super excited when thunderstorms come through. Like I said, I got the drone all charged up. Yeah, the controller actually just finished charging. I got all 3 batteries charged. The batteries only last about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, but I got 3 of them, so I got, 45 minutes to about an hour or so of flight time there. It's definitely been my dream to capture tornado footage on a drone. That would be awesome. Hopefully I can download the footage. I can probably try to download it as it's filming. That'd be nice. You'd be lighting up like a Christmas tree driving through storm. Yeah, I know. You know it. I love storm chasing. Storm chasing is one of my passions. That's why I went to school for meteorology, Trees up here getting away to see if anything's going to drop. Yeah, unfortunately, it's the same down here as well. I usually try to get up on the hilly terrain down here, up towards like Robinson, even up north. A good place, actually, is up towards Zelienople and Cranberry Township. That's a really good area. So Cranberry Township right in here and up towards like Zelienople area. There used to be a Speedway gas station that my buddy Justin and I, when we went to storm chasing, that's where we would actually sit. We did capture a lot of good lightning up there. I'll have to upload on the Facebook page. I think I have it on here somewhere, but I got slow motion capture of lightning. It's definitely pretty cool. I like I said, I have my slow motion camera charged, ready to go for tomorrow. Definitely want to get some awesome imagery for you guys. Definitely some awesome video. Yeah. I don't remember what's up there now. The Speedway. There used to be a Speedway gas station. I just don't remember what's up there now. I know the Speedway, I think, closed up there, but it was a really good place. Storm chasers. It was fun driving all the way up there, but we got kind of hungry when we got there, so we actually ordered food, and then we were eating as the storm came through. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, the areas I'm more concerned with are sort of down here towards Moon Township. Not just because that's my area. Of course, I'm concerned with all areas that develop the storms, and then the other area that I'm very concerned with is up towards the Vermont and New Hampshire area, even the Massachusetts area, down into Connecticut tomorrow as well. And they did, yeah, they did offer the storm chasing class when I was there at Cal. It was good, definitely a good experience for sure. What was if I may ask, what was your like if you had to pick like your favorite class? It doesn't have to be meteorology related, it could be any class, but what was your favorite class when you went to Cal? Rockland Kenderdale Lookout is a good place up here. Yeah. I've always wanted to see a water spout too. I've always wanted to like go up to Lake Erie shore or even over to the ocean. Believe it or not, I've actually never. I'm 30 years old and I've never seen the ocean yet. So I've actually never got down to the East Coast yet. So I'll have to change that sometime soon. I definitely want to see some thunderstorms on the ocean. Definitely get a good view of those. But I've never seen water spout yet. I've seen probably. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm kind of scared of the ocean too. The rip currents, things like that, and whatever is just below the surface lurking. You never know. Um, the tsunami sort of phenomenon is the thing that gets me. But luckily, we can sort of see when that's going to happen. You see the water receding beforehand. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, my favorite class down there at Cal when I was there was actually, it's kind of a toss up. I mean, quantum physics was awesome. Astrophysics was good too. Those are probably my two favorite classes. Surprisingly, it's not really a meteorology class that was my favorite. They were very good classes, don't get me wrong. But quantum physics was fantastic. Astrophysics was also. Astrophysics 1, 2, and 3. That was pretty good. They actually, when I went to Cal, they had I think it was, yeah, two quantum physics classes, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're actually down to one now, if they still offer a physics degree down there. I'm not sure. I remember Dr. Italy, when he was still alive, he said they were trying to shut down the physics program. I wonder if the telescope down there, I wonder if the telescope was still there. And the big weather station that we put down towards the SAI farm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you have less than 5 minutes to even get out of Dodge, and even that, it's crazy. Oh, hydrology, I think, right? Yeah. I took the second course of that, the groundwater hydrology, and it was funny because my professor told me that I didn't have to take hydrology, or sorry, that I had to take hydrology to get like a meteorology degree, and then come to find out they changed the entire freaking program to where you didn't have to take hydrology anymore. It's pretty crazy. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to get on here and talk about other things other than weather. I'm open to discussion on anything, basically any topic. I was actually, I don't know if I get banned for it or not, but I was actually thinking about recording like another playthrough of Skyrim. I don't know if you guys play video games or not, but Skyrim was awesome back in the day, and I really want to get back into the Skyrim game. It'd be fun to put the Skyrim videos on here. That'd be fun. Just got to find the time to do it. Yeah, hydrology. Yeah, you're right about that. Absolute least favorite class. Groundwater hydrology was. I can't remember. I think. I know. I'm trying to think which one was worse for me. I think it might have been the first hydrology class was the worst. The 303 class. It was there was the math and just the way like the problems were laid out, not good. Yeah, I haven't heard Skyrim in a while. That's what I'm saying. I want to bring back the old school game. Morrowind was awesome. Oblivion was good too, but I definitely want to do like a live stream playthrough of Skyrim, even though like this is called World Weather Authority, but I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool just to live stream that. Yeah, it was just weird. Like the so I hate to call Cal U out for that, but they were not very good at prepping you for the math that was involved in some of the classes. Yeah, so that was crazy. Call of Duty games and even oh man, I can't. It's SOCOM. Oh man, SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs. That was freaking awesome. That was one of my favorite games growing up. My brother actually had. I think he still has it. Actually, he has the Dreamcast. I think he has the original Doom still. The game Doom. I think he actually still has that. It's pretty awesome. I know my one buddy has I don't remember what it was called. The Nintendo. I don't know if it was Genesis or something. Whatever it was called. Yeah, the good old PS2. Assassin's Creed's very good too. And Tetris, yeah, Tetris is good too. Yeah, I'm 30 years old, getting ready to be 31. Well, not getting ready, I guess. September, but oh, okay, yeah. I didn't even know I didn't know they built the. Actually, I don't know if I was there for the new dorms. I graduated. Well, I graduated in 2019 from college. Yeah, I remember Super Mario. I remember that the Game Boy. I used to have Yu-Gi-Oh games and Pokemon games on the Game Boy. Pac-Man, yep. Pac-Man was fun. Yeah, my least favorite class. I mean, I hate to say, I hate to like it probably sounds really stupid, but I took this class down there. It was called Landmarks of the World. It was an art class. It was fascinating, but the thing is I like I guess we had to write essays at the end of the test, and like I would write scientific, I would write scientifically in the essay, and the teacher actually pulled me aside and told me that I wasn't allowed to do that. I wasn't allowed to write scientifically. I had to, I guess, because it's an art class. I guess I wasn't allowed to include that. Um, it's sort of kind of embarrassing to say, but I actually got a D in that class. That was the only D I ever got in college, and it happened to be an art class, and it was like a 109 level class. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you said they were, I didn't realize what the timeline was. But yeah, I guess they were old at the time. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah, I had my fair share of disliking the classes down there to the point where I actually like withdrew from one of them because I just didn't agree with what the professor was talking about. It just it wasn't. It was, I think it was called how was it called, global climate change. I think that course, it was like 469 level course. So it just wasn't good. Maybe were you there? I'm trying to think. Maybe you were there. Was Dr. Dieterle? I don't know if you remember. He was a physics professor. I wonder if he was around during that time, the 2006 to 2008. He was one of my favorite professors. Actually, he was probably my favorite professor. He got me through a lot down there. Um, he actually got me interested in a topic. It's called MHD. It's actually short for magnetohydrodynamics. It's about the sun, things like that. It's awesome. I did a whole page, 31-page paper on that. Who were the meteorology professors back then? Were they still like? Was it still Dr. Gill Kaufman? Yeah. Oh yeah. Dr. Kaufman was awesome. Man, he taught me a lot. He really did. He was one of the most down to earth professors down there. Oh, okay. You graduated from Du Bois Business College. That's awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. I've always wanted to do. I think I did one business class. It was like Introduction to Business. I think it was the only business course. I'm sure Lydia can tell me. She has all the course names. If you didn't know, guys, Lydia in the chat here. Lydia is my fiance, so I'm not sure if you guys knew that or not. But she could probably look up. She has all the classes that I took in college. It sucks though. In Pennsylvania, I went for meteorology, and unfortunately, apparently for you to apply at the weather stations, you have to go out of state first. Kind of sucks. No, J. Cole's wasn't there. It was called, oh man, I can't remember what it was called now. I wonder if it's, I'll have to look up the name real quick and see if it's down there. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it was called J. Cole's at the time. Let's see. Oh, it's called Loggerheads now. Yeah, it's called unless there's two different buildings down there, but yeah, it's called Loggerheads. There's a bar down there. A lot of the professors would go there. It's pretty funny. Like we had we had the subway down there, like down towards that area. We had the Chinese place. Oh, Loggerheads was there too. Okay, okay. Maybe, yeah, I don't remember J. Cool's though. For some reason, that name just doesn't ring a bell to me. But maybe it was. I know the parking garage collapsed in my sophomore year. Like the top two floors collapsed or whatever. It's crazy. Oh, really? Nothing transferred? That sucks. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that school either if nothing transfers. That really sucks. I'm still paying off the student loans to this day. You know, the student loans are probably gonna be with me forever, unfortunately. Yeah, the classes were pretty good down there. I mean, like I said, that art class I did not like. She said the teacher really had a problem with me writing scientifically, unfortunately. Yeah, she definitely didn't like my writing style. Yeah, oh I know. Yeah, they're definitely no joke. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Any school I go to so far, yeah. Wow, that sucks if they don't do that. Yeah, the subway was down there. Somebody stole a sub down there. It's freaking crazy. Oh man. Oh damn. So wait, you said roommate and I saw a guy steal a sub. Um, from there, and we laughed so much about it. He ran from the car. Damn, he passed away that night. Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Oh, I've been doing all right. Yeah, I've been doing okay. Just working basically. I want to come back on YouTube a lot more. I know I used to have a bigger presence on YouTube, but unfortunately, a lot of things, mainly work is what got in the way. So, but it's paying the bills for now. Definitely, I'm trying to look for a new job here. So, unfortunately, I've been applying to the news stations and the National Weather Service, things like that. I haven't really heard back. I hear from the news stations, but they say I have to go out of state first for 6 months and then come back. But unfortunately, nothing local. I definitely want to be an on-air meteorologist. Yeah, you remember that night very well. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. How have you been? Hope everything is going well with you, GRP. Yeah, you said you tried to put all my classes in the comments and YouTube didn't like it. Too many. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, they find ways to screw you over left and right. Oh, I know. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm not even paying I'm not even paying on the big loans. If I think I'm paying like a small amount right now on the big loans, but like I know it's coming where I got to pay a lot of it. He went to high school and talked me into getting Oh, that's awesome. He was a European PGA Tour meteorologist. That's freaking fantastic. I know. Yeah, I never heard of him. Yeah, I actually wish I shouldn't say I wish because I did have a really good experience at Cal. Um, yeah, no, I never heard of Guy. I never heard of Guy Nestor before. Yeah, I kind of wish I went to Oklahoma University though, for meteorology, instead of going to Cal. But you live and you learn. I guess because I don't have like a major university listed, that's probably maybe, I don't know. I was told by all the local meteorologists. I don't know if you guys know, but like Ray Petlin and Ron Smiley, Scott Harbaugh, very respectable guys. But I was told that I had to go out of state for 6 months first before I can actually like apply to the job. They took 2 years of income tax returns and it was paid off, so it worked out. Damn, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, student loans are a pain in the ass. I know that for sure. Sorry for the pardon my French there. Let me see if his new model run came in. It's about 94%. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it's still, the new model run here is still dissipating that main line. It comes through central Ohio, eventually makes it towards our area, but then it dissipates. And then 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to have to watch out. Definitely looks like a little bit less intense through the Pittsburgh area. But the thing is that frontal zone that's coming through near Columbus, that has to come through. These are prefrontal confluence bands, supercells, things like that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Like I said, um, if you guys have Facebook, try to go to, yeah, definitely head on over there. I'll put the group in there if you guys do have Facebook. I know a lot of people don't mess with Facebook anymore, which I can understand why. I mean, I can't live stream when I do storm chases on Facebook, unfortunately. For some reason, it doesn't let me live stream. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it does look like it dissipates. Like I said, it might just be more outflow dominant. Um, but then again, it's just weird how it does dissipate like that. Yeah, here I will put the link in the chat for you. It's actually a group page. I don't know if that might be my old page actually. Let me see here. Yeah, so there's the link to the actual. I actually started a group page. The other page, for some reason, that one, my first page, it doesn't let me go live anymore. And even on the group page, unfortunately, I can go live, but I have to keep my phone upright. I can't turn my phone horizontally. I have to keep it vertical when I'm driving. It's just not good. Yeah, it's very, very weird. But YouTube lets me do it, so that's good. I usually stream. I've been streaming from Lydia's phone lately. I want to start streaming from my phone again. I can actually. My charger port on my phone was actually broken for a little bit. Yeah, I thought about making a TikTok as well. Actually, I have TikTok, but I don't really update it much. I probably should, but I don't really. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you joining me. Appreciate that for sure. But yeah, that's unfortunately like it's hard. It's hard to remember to post everything on YouTube, like in the community page. I used to do it, but I didn't really get much response in the community page. I think it's like a sort of a more obscure thing. Yeah, it lets me go live on the group page, but like it doesn't let me turn my phone vertically. I mean, I'm sorry, horizontally. I have to keep it like upright, which kind of sucks. I like the horizontal orientation better. It captures more of the it helps visualize it a little bit better. Yeah, I wanted to try to get some good drone footage. I think like the only way for weather to go viral on TikTok is probably to um, probably get some good footage. I'm not sure if like live streaming on TikTok for me is gonna be it would be good. I'm still kind of shy in certain aspects. I try not to be, but unfortunately, nerves get the best of us. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I know Jay. I know Justin gets a lot of views on there. So that's awesome. Oh wow. Okay, that's fantastic. I think the most I've had on it was when I first started this YouTube channel. I had 14,000 people on it. The chat was going absolutely insane. Like it was just so hard to keep up, and I was trying to answer everybody's questions, and unfortunately, you just can't do that. Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, public speaking is a little rough. I used to love it. Unfortunately, that's where like, cause I used to work at Home Depot. I worked in the tool rental department, and public speaking. Anytime you voiced your opinion there, you just got, for lack of a better term, you got shit on. So you really couldn't have a voice there. So unfortunately, that was kind of my area where I kind of lost my voice a little bit. But I'm trying, I'm starting to get it back. So that's good. 40,000 was insane. They went all the way to the live stream on YouTube for my ticket. Yeah, that's fantastic. I tried to actually cross post it tonight. Like I tried to put it on Facebook and YouTube, but I use OBS for streaming, and unfortunately, I think you can stream in HD on YouTube, obviously, but on Facebook it doesn't allow you to stream HD. And I have a super fast computer. Um, it was. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So Lydia just informed me that I had no sound once again. My God, it just gets. Yeah, I'm sorry. This microphone is so freaking touchy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I use OBS. I mean, it's good, but thank you. Yeah, I appreciate. I'm glad people still watch on YouTube. That's awesome. I've been trying to build a YouTube channel up for a long time. Yeah, I know. You're right. It's just that I move it out of the way. I move the microphone away from my mouth when I'm getting a drink because I don't want people to hear the drinking ASMR. So, but yeah, you're right. I probably should stop touching the microphone. It's weird. It's a good mic. It's like one of the best microphones you can buy, but it just gets finicky. We want the ASMR. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't think so. I know. Yeah, ASMR. It's been out for so freaking long. Like, there's so many weird videos on YouTube that I see ASMR. I don't even remember what the weird one was. I'm sure Lydia probably knows. Um, there was one video. I don't even remember what the hell it was, but it was just weird. It's super freaking weird. I think it was like God. I think it was like somebody stirring mac and cheese or something. I think that was the ASMR video. It's just freaking. It's not good. And like, there's people in the comments on that video said, "I sleep to this," and I'm like, "How the hell do you sleep to that noise?" I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I do have to promote on all platforms. Like I used to have. I think I still have an Instagram and Twitter. Attached to World Weather Authority. We listen to cats purr, so that's kind of, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we do listen to cats purr. They got eating ASMRs, food ones, animals eating one. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do ASMR. You know, it's not right. I mean, some of it, I guess, some people can just see it, but I don't know. I can't. Yeah, there he is. Good to see you, brother. I hope the overnight shift's going well. You know, it's kind of a bad sentence to say because I know the overnight shift probably never goes well, but hopefully it's going. Hopefully it's going good tonight. Yeah, weather ASMR is good. I tried to create a weather ASMR on the channel. I think I still have it on the YouTube channel. I don't think it's got very many views though. Yeah, exactly. I appreciate that. Yeah, I should. I should definitely promote it. Yeah, I definitely. I try to. I try to. I don't know. Sometimes I think my voice is kind of hard to understand sometimes, but I don't know. Lydia always encourages me that everything is all good. So it's definitely good to have her here. She definitely helps me out a lot. There's some, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of people that make a ton of good videos on YouTube. Like I'm talking about in the weather community. I just can't listen to them because of their voice. You're right, you know. Yeah, I do have a PA accent. Yeah, that's exactly what she says. Yeah, that's what she said. She said I should promote all the videos that I have. I used to have Facebook I don't think I do it anymore. I used to have Facebook ads running and stuff on the old page, but since I don't use that page anymore, I don't have the ads running anymore. But yeah, we'll see where everything goes. So I hope everybody stays safe with these storms coming in tomorrow. Like I said, I will be back on live tomorrow. Probably gonna jump off of here in a few minutes. Um, definitely It's definitely been fun. It's definitely been an awesome live stream. You guys have made it awesome for me tonight. I definitely appreciate it. Call it weather ASMR. I know I should. I thought about talking. I thought about making a TikTok page earlier, like another TikTok page and naming it something else instead of World Weather Authority. All right, we'll see what happens though. Um, Unfortunately for me, I like to get into the science and mathematics of it all. Not a lot of people, get into that. A lot of people just like to, see what the data is, and then that's about it. But me, I like to delve into the nitty gritty. It's something I've always done. I don't know if you guys know or not, but from the movie Twister from 1996, I was 3 years old at the time. That's what got my start into whisper meteorological terms to us. Oh my god, I don't know. I mean, I can do like I can do the Cleveland voice, well, sort of. I can do the Cleveland voice from Family Guy sometimes, but I'm not gonna do it here. But I might do it tomorrow. We'll see. My voice is kind of screwed up tonight, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I'm not gonna whisper meteorological terms. I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do the Cle. It's so weird. Twister got me looking at the Weather Channel every night. Oh yeah, yeah, same here. Yeah, it's true, dude. People do have weird fetishes and they like the weather, so maybe that's a good idea. I actually, unfortunately, the guy I used to work with at Home Depot, he's a pretty funny dude, but he's kind of weird, but he's awesome. Yeah, he's interesting. He probably has he would probably like. He always tells me, which is kind of weird, but he's like, "Oh, you should start an OnlyFans weather page," and I'm like, "Oh God, I don't know if I could do that." I have a problem. I have a sort of issue with public speaking. I don't think I could just show off certain things on a OnlyFans weather page. I know a lot of people do that. At least whatever it is, we'll see. OnlyFans weather page. Yeah, that's what he told me to do. He's like, start an OnlyFans weather page. Oh boy, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't know if he's interested or not. It's kind of weird, but yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm more into the science of it all. I'm kind of on the boring spectrum, as some would say. I like it's crazy, I know, but I like the advanced like partial differential equations and the calculus and of it all. Um, Interestingly enough, um, I've actually I can't say that I've done it like fully, obviously, because it's not something that's been done fully yet. It's a work in progress, but I am combining. It's gonna be interesting. I'm finding ways to combine quantum physics with meteorology. So very, 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 very tiny, like subatomic, even tinier than that scale to meteorology. It's interesting. It's very math heavy, so we'll see where it goes. Yeah, exactly. Thank you guys. Definitely appreciate you guys joining me tonight. It's definitely been an awesome stream. Let me see if Radar Omega has anything else to offer us tonight. Oh, I'm not liking that frame right there. I am not liking this storm. It's more of a right moving supercell there towards McDonald, Santiago, Imperial, Robinson, Oakdale area. Comes down from Moon Township. This is what I'm going to have to watch for. Might have to activate chase mode tomorrow, guys. We'll see. Because I am very, very close to this area. So we will see what happens. We'll get the drone up too. Like I said, I got it all ready to go, charged. So we'll see what happens tonight. All right, guys. I think I'm going to jump off here. I definitely appreciate you joining me. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get some stuff down. We'll get some stuff. More topics as meteorologist. You could talk about historic weather. Yeah, I could definitely do that. I've thought about doing that. The folklore, like the patterns of wars, things like that. Yeah, I've definitely been looking into that. I definitely appreciate the input as well. But all right, yeah, definitely. Have a good night, guys. Appreciate you joining me. Keep dominating the storm out there, guys. We'll see you on Facebook. We'll see you on YouTube. Thanks again. Yeah, have a good night as well. Thank you, guys. It definitely was fun. If you guys can, before you leave, if you can hit the like button as well. Maybe share this information if you guys are inclined to do so. Appreciate it.